A naturally formed sunstone core like this has a certain amount of spiritual energy, Charlie thought. It would be perfect for Christian to use against evil spirits. He immediately raised his card. 900,000! But as soon as his voice fell, that familiar voice sounded again. 1 million! Charlie turned his head and met Stephen's provocative gaze. He didn't say a word and just continued to raise his placard. 1.1 million. 1.2 million. After a few more bids, the price of the sunstone core had doubled. Under Stephen's deliberate pressure, it soared to 2 million. Many people in the room could see that Stephen was intentionally targeting Charlie again. Everyone was waiting for the next round of drama, so they all stared at Charlie's hand. Charlie slowly raised his placard and said, 20 million! The room went wild. He just jumped from 2 million straight to 20 million? Just like before, he increased the bid by 10 times. The look on Stephen's face was incredibly ugly. Is Charlie out of his mind? He wondered. Even if you have money, you don't just throw it away like that. Stephen had a reputation as a big spender in Oris Hill, but even he wasn't willing to pay 10 times what something was worth. He hesitated. Should he follow or not? If he did, he'd be throwing away more than $18 million for nothing. If he backed down now, he'd be a total joke. He'd already lost face once tonight, and if Charlie beat him again, he'd be too embarrassed to even show his face in public. Thinking about this, Stephen gritted his teeth and blurted out, 20.1 million! A gasp went through the crowd. Stephen only added 100,000. This was a direct challenge. Charlie just smiled slightly and raised his hand again. I bid 30 million. Holy crap! This is insane! This dude has got some serious guts! From 2 million to 20 million, and now from 20.1 million to 30 million. The way Charlie was bidding scared everyone in the room. Stephen felt like he was going to collapse. What was Charlie doing? Was he really that rich? $30 million! You could buy 15 of these jade pieces for that price. Whoever paid that much would be a total sucker. Charlie looked over at Stephen again. Come on, Stephen. Continue. Stephen panicked. $30 million to buy a piece of jade? If his family found out, they would kill him. His sister Skylar would probably cripple him for life. But with so many people watching, what could he do? The color drained from Stephen's face, then rushed back in a hot flush. The auctioneer called out, 30 million going once, 30 million going twice. The lively crowd started shouting, come on, Stephen, place a bid. Yeah, Stephen, show some guts. Don't let us down, Stephen. Are you really backing down? You were acting so tough a minute ago, and now you're scared? Charlie said with a smile, if you don't bid, Stephen, you lose. All eyes were on Stephen. He hesitated for a moment, but in the end, reason won out over his pride. He said, I give up. All talk. What a loser. Seriously, how pathetic. A wave of insults and laughter erupted from the crowd, leaving Stephen completely humiliated. He wished he'd never even come today, then he wouldn't be in this embarrassing situation. Feeling utterly disgraced, Stephen's embarrassment turned to rage. He glanced over and saw the mocking look in Charlie's eyes, which only fueled his anger. He stormed out of his private room and marched right up to Charlie. You jerk! Wade, were you messing with me on purpose? Charlie slowly picked up a glass of water from the table, took a sip, and said, no one forced you to bid against me. You're the one who insisted on starting a fight. Now you're just getting angry and pathetic because you lost. Warnia, who was standing beside them, added coldly, Mr. Knox, those are the auction rules. You have to be willing to lose. If you can't afford the stakes, you shouldn't have played. Stephen gritted his teeth, furious, but he didn't dare talk back to Warnia. "This isn't over!" Stephen pointed a finger at Charlie and stormed back to his box. Charlie couldn't help but shake his head. With a reckless spender like Stephen in the family, he wondered how the Knox family managed. As everyone watched, Charlie calmly used the premium card to pay. It was Christian's money anyway, so it didn't hurt him to spend it. Besides, he wondered what Christian would do if he found out his own relative was the reason Charlie had to spend so much. Maybe he'd take his anger out on Stephen? An hour later, the auction was finally winding down. Stephen hadn't placed a single bid since his last encounter, probably still spooked by Charlie. Just then, several assistants struggled to wheel a trolley onto the stage. On it was a massive object covered by a cloth. Charlie suddenly held his breath and looked up. He could feel a powerful aura coming from it. In the next box, Owen Pierce also perked up, his eyes fixed on the item. This was it, the grand treasure. But when Terry Castillo pulled back the curtain, a wave of disappointment went through the crowd. On the cart was a huge, beat-up-looking piece of reef covered in seaweed and dried shells. People started murmuring in the audience. They couldn't understand why the grand treasure would feature this broken rock as the finale. Then, Terry began to explain. "Don't worry, everyone. This is the final item of the show, a natural clam. This clam formed naturally on the sea floor. We've confirmed that the shellfish itself was 100 years old. After it died, it rested on the ocean floor for thousands of years. The shell developed a natural pattern, making it a truly unique treasure." After he finished speaking, he had an assistant wipe a section of it clean for everyone to see. Sure enough, the exposed palm-sized area revealed a beautiful, transparent, golden red color, just like amber. A gasp went through the room. The price for mollusks on the international market usually ranges from $30,000 to $50,000, and their lifespan is typically only 20 to 100 years. This clam lived for a full 100 years. That's incredibly rare, making it one of the finest treasures of its kind. What makes it even rarer is that it sat on the spacer for thousands of years. The color is a transparent golden red, and it has a natural 4D pattern. It's safe to say this piece has a special significance and is a top-tier treasure among clams. The starting price for this clam is $9 million. The bidding frenzy started, and soon the price shot up to $12 million. Many people backed out at that point, but those who truly understood its value kept bidding. Just then, Owen stood up and announced loudly, "I bid $15 million." After speaking, he turned and bowed to the crowd with a smile. "My friends, I came to this auction today specifically for this clam. Please, do me this favor and let me have it. As a thank you, I'll give each of you a good luck charm." Most of the guests were business owners who knew of Owen's reputation and didn't want to get on his bad side. They'd heard he could put a hex bag on you, causing all sorts of trouble. Besides, getting a good luck charm worth a couple of $100,000 was a nice bonus. So even though many were annoyed, they decided to let it go. Terry kept a straight face, but inside he was furious. An auction is supposed to go to the highest bidder, but Owen was breaking the rules. If he got the clam for only $15 million, it wasn't just about the money Terry would lose. The reputation of the auction house would take a hit. But Terry also knew that Owen was a powerful and influential man. He couldn't afford to make an enemy of him, so he had to back down. Owen was beaming with pride. He could barely contain his excitement. He had flown all the way to Aris Hill for this clam. After so many hurdles, he was finally getting what he wanted. What's a mere $15 million? Once he had it, he knew he could make a fortune. The room was completely silent. It seemed his power play had worked. No one dared to bid against him. This was respect. This was power. Throughout the country, who wouldn't show a little respect to Owen Pierce? It looked like he was about to get a steal on this mollusk for only $15 million. Just then, a quiet voice spoke up again. "I'll bid $30 million.
The moment the words were spoken, the entire room fell silent. Everyone turned to look at the bidder, their hearts filled with surprise. It was him again, the young man in the plain clothes. He didn't look like much, but the 2 times he'd outbid Stephen were unforgettable. The craziest part was that he'd paid for both sky-high bids right on the spot with his card. It was unbelievable, but no one imagined this guy would actually dare to challenge Owen Pierce. Owen saw him immediately, and his face darkened. At the same time, Stephen shot up from his seat, rubbing his eyes in disbelief. Warnia was also shocked that Charlie would suddenly bid against Owen Pierce. She knew Charlie was good at appraising treasures, but she had no idea how much money he actually had. She couldn't help but worry. Even she didn't want to cross Owen, so why wasn't Charlie worried about him seeking revenge? Jacob was the first to snap out of it. He quickly grabbed Charlie's arm and whispered, "Charlie, what are you doing? Sit down." "Dad, I know what I'm doing," Charlie said calmly, turning his head for a moment before looking back at the stage, his eyes perfectly calm. "Charlie, what's your game? Are you trying to steal Mr. Pierce's treasure?" Stephen demanded coldly, stepping up. Charlie just smiled slightly. "This is an auction. Anyone can bid. How is that stealing from anyone? You're a grown man, don't you understand the rules?" Then Charlie smirked. "You should just sit there and keep your mouth shut. Aren't you embarrassed enough after what just happened?" Hearing this, Stephen's face turned red. He immediately sat back down, flustered and silent. Owen's face turned grim. He glared daggers at Charlie and said coldly, "You again? Do you have any idea who I am? You dare to try and steal from Owen Pierce?" Charlie just sneered and shot back. "I couldn't care less who you think you are. I'm taking this today. What are you going to do about it?"
To know more, listen to the audio series Heir in Hiding, only on the Pocket FM app.